Thank you, Mayor Meyer, and welcome, and thank you very much for coming out to our town hall meeting. I think this is my 14th that I held with CHAP, and it is nice to be able to come back up from the General Assembly and to share with you what is happening, what's going on, and more importantly, and the part that we enjoy most is opening up the floor for questions and for dialogue to make sure that we are understanding what your concerns are and what kind of feedback you want to provide on the priorities that we have down in the General Assembly. We are being recorded today, and so we are very glad to be doing that. I want to particularly recognize Democracy on Air, who is putting this online to make this interactive. And the thing that I love about this is actually being run back there by several George Mason University interns. I'm very proud to have George Mason in my district, and love the fact that they came in and want to go ahead and get this information out to the public. So for the public that is out there who might be watching, welcome. All right, time and have a huge amount of respect for what he's been able to do, and it is really hard to reconcile that against what we saw back from his college yearbook in 1984. And the simple fact is that it really does just undermine the trust that I think he has built with Virginia. And it's really hard to be able to lead effectively once you've gone ahead and done that. So anyways, I think we'll wait until we see what Governor Northam says with his 9 o'clock press conference. But again, sad day for Virginia, uncharted territory, and we'll see what happens. So anyways, thank you very much for coming out and letting us kind of start off on that note. It's a process with regard to conformity, and we're kind of in the thick of it right now as far as what path we want to move forward with. But I think all of us are very cognizant and committed to the idea that we need to come up with something very soon so that people can move forward with their tax returns with some level of certainty. Anything?
Yeah, let me, I'll just add about 60 seconds on that. I gave, is this on? Okay. I gave a speech yesterday on the Senate floor, which obviously did not get recorded because everyone forgot about everything after 4 p.m. But I talked about this issue of conformity, which is making sure our tax code matches up with the feds. We need to do that first. We need to do that immediately, so when the tax returns are actually mailed out yesterday, people can start filling them out right away, just so they know what the returns show. Now, how we spend the money, how we give the money back, we can handle that later, but we need to do tax conformity right away.
Clean energy has been a big area of focus this year. Local land use, as I know Mayor Meyer knows, so we've got proffers. I'm not going to explain what a proffer is unless somebody wants to know what a proffer is. But the idea is, you know, what is the right balance between the state and the localities with regard to land use issues? And so there's always kind of that tension. I tend to believe that local city councils and boards of supervisors are in a much better position to make those decisions than we are. Distracted driving and hands-free, a real epidemic in Virginia. So statistically, distracted driving is now up there with drunk driving in terms of the number of deaths per year, and it's probably underreported because it's really hard to be able to prove that somebody was driving distracted or on their cell phone. My understanding, Chap, is that the two bills that are coming out of both sides deal with hands-free.
Yeah, we passed a bill in Senate courts.
Yeah,
hands-free.
And then we got the budget, of course, at the end. I think the big part where, at least on the House, there's agreement. I don't know, Chap, on your side, whether there's agreement to increase teacher salaries by another 2%, so that they get a 5% raise above what we had, the actions that we took last year.